exciting week. Social media, quite exciting. And this is a new segment that I'm creating right here on the fly. This is Pat Ourselves on the Back Session. Everyone give yourselves a big old, Alan, you too, there you go. Because and for those of you who don't know, we had 1984 and 1988 Olympic gold medalist, springboarder and high diver, Greg Louganis, comment on one of our fucking TikTok videos. Wow. Unbelievable. Fucking goddamn. Commented.
Honestly, yeah. I think we should shut it down. This is the peak, right?
Well, this is going to springboard us into more celebrities. Think about that.
Dude, no. When you sent the message, Greg Louganis commented on our video, I was like, oh shit. Which one? Because I had a feeling. And no, it's I kind of got a little red in the face. I felt bad, and I'm glad he took it for what it was. It was just funny. I mean,
sure,
it's just funny, right?
That video. Again, we live in a very PC world, and he's older than us. I think Greg Louganis is in his late 50s, early 60s. So I think he probably comes from an era where you had to have a little thicker skin. We didn't say anything wrong. We just said,
I don't think it was anything weird, was it?
I made the comment about Greg Louganis diving into a black hole in space, and you said there's so many problematic jokes that can come from that. He laughed. He said LOL after he said interesting. Like, he was actually thoroughly like, holy shit, spaghettification. This is interesting. This is news to me.
Just to recap, it was from a Fun Fact Friday where if you dove headfirst into a black hole, your body and your atoms will be stretched, and that stretching would be called spaghettification. And Wes said, oh, so you're telling me that if Greg Louganis did a double gainer off of a spaceship and dove face first into a black hole? And I said, we need to stop right here because Greg Louganis diving face first into a black hole might be problematic. And then we all chuckled. And that is what Greg Louganis witnessed with his own eyeballs and ear holes, and thought it was funny. So good on him.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
thanks, Greg.
I had to do a little bit of investigative work, and by that I mean I clicked on the icon thinking this is someone else. It was weird because I know people make dummy or fake or whatever accounts. There are name a celebrity that's out there. Ben Affleck. There's probably 1,000 Ben Affleck profiles in the TikTok universe. It's like, okay, well, why would someone make a phony Greg Louganis one? It just seems that there's no backing to that. So I clicked on it, and it's him doing fucking 10-meter dives. And then every other video, he's talking to the camera about fitness and living healthy. And it was him.
Yeah. And then I watched him do yoga. And I was like, that's super gay. Of course he does yoga. And then I was like, whoa, that's a form of yoga that I am incapable of performing. And then I'm like, oh, this 60-year-old man is a professional athlete and can perform tasks in his later years that I am incapable of performing. Now.
At 62 years old, when he does the very perfect, steady, graceful, elegant, form to a T handstands for over a couple seconds. Yeah, you're like, holy shit. Yep.
Yes. And this is the guy who abused his body. And I'm glad you sent back to him a message saying, hey, really flattered by this, one of our childhood heroes, because look, in 1988 I was 9 years old and I was watching the Olympics with my parents. I remember watching Greg Louganis whack his fucking head. Of course, at that age, and almost nobody in America knew the backstory behind that HIV positive gay man has just
bled
really
into a pool.
Has really just set himself up for potentially like an international incident at this point, and to be able to then go back out and perform, it makes that performance even more brave than I remember. It wasn't just a guy who split his head open on the springboard at this point. Right. There's a lot of political ramifications behind it. There's a lot of health ramifications behind it. And then of course there's the, oh shit, now I'm a little squirrely because I just whacked my head on the springboard. Am I going to be able to perform? Because is my head in the game anymore? Yeah. It's a fucking brave fucking performance. So thank you, Greg Louganis.
Thank you. We do appreciate I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. I had way back when a very short-lived kind of comedy sports YouTube channel where I think I made two or three episodes, each ranging from like 5 to 9 minutes, and realizing it was work. It was a lot of work to do something like that. I did have Fran Tarkenton comment on a video of mine, the quarterback for the Vikings. Yeah, he corrected me about how many Super Bowls he lost. I said it was 4. It was actually 3. It's like, you're right.
That's funny.
It was 3. Yeah.
But the other thing with the Greg Louganis, because of course I was bragging about that at work, and like it's definitely generational. There's a line of there's an age line for who knows who Greg Louganis was and who doesn't.
Oh yeah, I had to at work. That was certainly like that was apparent, and even people. The guy who sits next to me is 33, and he was like, yeah. And I was like, springboarder, Olympic diver. Yes. I didn't watch that. The first Olympics I remember was like 92. So, yeah, 4 years later, makes sense, right?
Yeah. No, but no. It's just super cool because it's a litmus test. Mm-hmm. The reach that you have with this World Wide Web that we dabble in every day is that you're that, for me, it's like we're that close to Greg Louganis. Like we're best friends now. Like there's no way that I would have any contact with Greg Louganis, and then all of a sudden there's a TikTok video, and he's witnessed the content that I put my fingers and eyeballs and ears to to give to you to insert into that platform.
Yeah, I hashtagged his name, and I can't remember like how many views that it or because when you hashtag on TikTok, it says like the potential views or potential. I don't even know what they call it. There's a numerical value that sits next to it, and it was in the tens of thousands. I was like, yeah, why not? 57,000. Boop. And then sure enough, I know it was like a month ago, maybe more. Interesting. Mm-hmm. LOL.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a trivia question. Do you remember who the Olympic male swimmer that kind of semi-dominated that Olympics? 88?
It wasn't Spitz. He was done by then, right?
That was like 72. It was in Munich.
So he was.
There's only so many.
Matt Biondi.
I was gonna say Fran Tarkenton.
That's right. Tarkenton, after losing a few Super Bowls, shifted his focus to
Fran Tarkenton
to swimming. No, Matt Biondi. I don't know if that name rings a bell.
Nope.
No, not at all. Because nobody cares about swimming, and now every American Olympic swimmer, because everybody does watch swimming when the Olympics come around. They don't watch it any other time of their lives. After Michael Phelps, none of them exist anymore. I only know Michael Spitz because, he was the Michael Phelps before Michael Phelps, and he does a lot of Blue Emu commercials now that come on like intermittently late at night.
So, and no American swimmer, male or female, between Michael Spitz and Michael Phelps. Like everything in between that is a black hole.
Yes. That Greg Louganis is diving face first.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, well, we lost him.
Doing
and I did
games.
tell you too, man. I felt a little guilt that was the video that, it would have been great if Greg Louganis just randomly commented on like one of our other videos. This one specifically dealt with him, which is probably why he watched it in the first place. But I told you it was a lot like me telling Bret Hart, fuck you, at a live event, and then having him turn around and like stare me cold dead in the eyes, disappointed in me. Hey, man, I hope I didn't upset Greg Louganis.
I tell you what, I think we have a theme here. Elaborate a little bit more. I'll edit this down, and I'll hashtag Bret Hart, hashtag Hitman, hashtag the best there is, the best was, there ever will be. And we'll see if we can comment. Come on, I think we got a good thing going on
here.
Okay. Like, see.
Okay.
All right.
So, Bret the Hitman Hart, my absolute favorite wrestler of all time. There was definitely, a 1A and 1B, him and Shawn Michaels, but Bret Hart had, he had that quality about him. He had that, he was a stand-up guy, okay? Both in the ring and outside the ring. Mm-hmm. And I loved Bret Hart, and then he turned on America. And he went heel for the first time his entire career. And I still loved Bret Hart because at that point I knew wrestling, there was a sham. It was an entertainment industry, but I loved what Bret Hart stood for. But I got wrapped up in the moment. Bret Hart left the ring. Everybody was chanting, "Fuck you, Bret." Bret comes down the steel steps. I'm right there at the old school riot barrier cage thing right at the edge of the ring. And he comes by me and I'm like, "Fuck you, Bret." And he stops. He puts his hands on his hips. He turns around. He looks me square in the eyes and just shakes his head back and forth like
he gave you
like he was
he PFFFFF'd you.
He was disappointed in me. And as he walked away, my voice wavering, I'm sorry, Bret. I didn't mean it. And he just shook his head. That greasy white guy Jerry curl shifted in the breeze.
I love it. The funny thing is he probably got back behind the curtain and then realized he's doing his job.
Yeah.
He's like, just doing. Look at that. That kid said "fuck you" to me. I'm killing it out there. They're believing it.
And then his lip quivered like a little bitch. He'll go to his grave with regret, unless he comes and gives me $50 for an autograph at some local fire hall.
That's right. Oh shit! Middle Classholes, everybody. Alan, Murr, Foxman. I think I'm still kind of moderately hungover from the 4th of July weekend that took place. The weekend before that one, on the 4th of July, right? That movie that Tom Cruise is famous from. Anywho, listen. Speaking of hangovers. This is where we get into a segment called Friend or Foe, and I think some of you folks might have some very strong opinions about, I don't know, some of you older folks who had to endure decades worth of hangovers may have strong opinions about this. Let's have it.
All right, my friends, time to read a news story to you. See if you agree or disagree. Friend or Foe, a new hangover pill which promises to help keep drinkers refreshed and wide awake the next day is called Miracle. There's just some twatty little scientist like, "Oh, this is so funny. It's a miracle." Spelled MYRKL. I mean, there's a sometimes Y vowel in there, I guess. But they say it's the first product in history to break down alcohol effectively. It's been in development for more than 30 years, packed with bacteria that I cannot pronounce, and it reduces the alcohol into water and carbon dioxide. The pill works by breaking down the alcohol before it reaches the liver and uses vitamins B12 to ensure that drinkers are left without a sore head. According to scientists, 2 pills should be taken at least an hour before any alcohol is consumed. So, my friend or foe is this. Is this product good or bad for human society? Because if there's no consequences the day after having drank yourself to death at the bar the night before, isn't the opportunity for more extreme drunken behavior readily available to each and every person on the planet? So science can do a lot of things, but should they? Should the hangover pill be a thing that's readily available to all citizens, friend or foe? Alan, I'll start with you.
I mean, why not, right? I mean, it's America, right? When we talked about freedom earlier.
Wait, wasn't this developed in the UK?
Oh.
Well, it was, but there's a bigger market here in the U.S. than the UK.
Usually I get made fun of for not paying attention. That's all.
That's fair. Well, that's fair. I did not listen. Well, we make shit more popular. We take their shit and make it more popular anyway. So.
Well, and give it about a half hour. I'm gonna have a tough time with fucking everything.
Let's be real. But no, I mean, why not, man? Give it out. I mean, it does. I see what you're saying about devaluing a hangover, or whatever I guess you would call it. Fucking hangovers. But let people live. I want to see the debauchery. Look, we're sliding. I feel like the planet and especially this country are sliding into some crazy times. So let's just keep the party going. Start handing out meth. Fucking let's start doing some crazy stuff. Yeah. Fuck it.
What would be if Miracle is the wonder drug for booze hangovers? What is going to be the name for the wonder drug for meth hangovers?
Fuck you. I don't know what a meth hangover feels like, so I can't tell you.
Does meth give you a hangover?
I don't know.
It's hypothetical. I'm making this up. I don't
Oh.
don't know. Weirdly enough.
Meth, come down.
Of course, he's gonna look it up.
All
Wes,
right.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you
Yes.
Wes, I assume you understand my logic. Like, I get it. Like, I hate hangovers too, but hangovers, I know, and maybe I'm a little more self-aware than most drinkers. Like, I know, like, what beer I'm on and what the consequences for the next beer are going to be.
Sure.
So I throttle myself. But if I've got these pills, I'm be like, fuck it. Why not? You're going to feel fine tomorrow. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. I'll give in.
The rational side of my brain wants to say this is an evolution and a step in human progression. And not only that, coupled with the fact that the market for this is obscene. I mean, whether or not we are friend or foe today, the second this hits fucking the American shores, I'm buying some. Okay. But anyway, I think that, like, you know, I would be friend because of the progression of society. Scientists have cracked the code for something that probably a lot of other scientists have been trying for a long time. Now, they probably won't admit that. Like, oh, we haven't invested money in figuring out how to cure hangovers. Bullshit. Fuck you. It's been billions of dollars.
Since you were paying attention, the story says they've been working on it for 30 years.
In the UK. I mean, it's that's like 3 years here. But the irrational side of my brain is, I don't know if you guys remember. Do you remember them? Okay. Do you remember a movie? Here's where Murr goes, okay, Wes is going to hit us with some funky ass shit. There's a movie from the mid 90s with a star-studded cast called Beautiful Girls.
Don't know that one.
Okay.
Where's the stars there, stud?
Matt Dillon, Michael Rappaport, Uma Thurman, Natalie Portman as a 13-year-old. I mean, I could go on a few more if you'd like.
Okay, that's fair.
Rosie O'Donnell.
I won't mock you for this, but no, I don't remember the movie.
Okay, so Michael Rappaport and Matt Dillon are roommates. Matt Dillon's ditching the 10-year high school reunion, and he says, why? And he says, Rich Man, Poor Man is on television today, all 12 episodes. And Michael Rappaport's like, what? Really? He's like, yeah, Falconetti. Can you believe it? It's like, oh my God, you got to tape it for me. He's like, can't do it. Why not? Because Rich Man, Poor Man comes on 12 episodes back to back. You need to sit down and watch all the commercials like every other normal person. It's like, oh, good point. That's the irrational side of my brain, is like, no, kids should have to endure hangovers. People should have to have hangovers. I dealt with them for a long time. Believe it or not, I still get them from time to time.
I get them worse than I ever did.
And I kind of feel like that's the laboring thing. This is the same argument that I had with Four Locos when those fuckers came out. They were like 14.5%. It's like, no, man, kids should not drink that. They need to drink beer in order to, like, taper their goddamn consumption. It's a bad move. But ultimately, I'm friend. It's progression. You know, fuck it. Get him out here. I'll buy 3.
Okay.
Those bitches.
Here's where I stand on this, because I am faux. I'm only faux because you take it before you drink. Now, if you were able to take it after you drink, I feel like as a hangover cure, I don't know, like,
it's like, I know that I'm supposed to, like, hydrate while I do this, and rarely do I fucking do it.
Yeah,
because it's almost like you're taking some sort of like you're giving yourself some sort of superhuman ability, and you're willingly giving this to yourself. And so here I go, I'm popping 2 of these, no hangover tomorrow, baby. So I'm gonna go balls to the wall. There should be a Alcohol's fun. We all know. We dabble in it quite often. Alcohol is fun, but it's only fun because it's kind of dangerous. It's dangerous because you have to, once you get to a point of inebriation, you then still have to have your wits about you to say, hey, that next one is going to leave you in a world of hurt tomorrow. Well, if there's no world of hurt tomorrow, then the amount of, like, nonsense I'm going to just willingly put myself through the night before is going to be off the fucking charts. And as you say, progression, as the progress of this continues, then I'm going to start being a more debaucherous human being. I think it could be the downfall of Western civilization.
The other point I want to bring up, and Alan, you might agree with this as well, or have some thoughts on this, is that it probably, in my opinion, would lead to more weekday drinking.
Oh, absolutely.
People don't drink during the week because they don't want to be hungover and feel like shit for work.
Absolutely.
What's the repercussion then?
Yeah.
Lack of sleep.
They might be a little tired, but then you just get jazzed up on coffee.
Yeah, that's right. Suck down you Mountain Dew energy.
We all turn into a bunch of fucking Elvises, fucking like dying trying to push a fucking rotten turd out on the toilet.
Yep, exactly. That's how it goes.
Well, I mean,
and that's life.
We're all working from home anyway, so just take a nap in the corner.
Yeah, that's true too. It's got a good point.
Why not just start drinking? Just pop a couple of those bad boys.
I think that's what happened during the fucking pandemic anyway, right? Was we just started drinking. Like, we were like, oh, fuck it. Get a Zoom call and be like, hey, hey, am I good? Sweet. Yeah,
right.
What's up?
That's what you got to hold off. You got to have the automatic don't start video. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You have to initiate the video press.
It's just an A. I think there are people in my company who haven't seen my face, and I've been there for almost a year.
I had someone admit that they, not with my company, by the way, or me, do like some sort of recording where it's like the video, just you kind of like, you know, like a
good. I like that.
Like a speed type thing.
Fucking sweet.
Anyway, so I'm friend just because maybe just because I don't want to be a get off my lawn type of guy, and I understand that whether I'm friend or foe for it, that it's coming. So fuck it. Bring it on. Let's do this shit.
Oh, I'm buying it. I'm taking it. As soon as they make it available to me, I'm going to throw it down my gullet. I'm going to be a pure hypocrite because that's what alcohol makes you do. It makes you go against your natural moral instinct.
Against the grain.
Do something bad. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that, my friends, is your friend or foe.
Oy, oy, oy. Well, what that also does is bring us to another segment that we like to call. That's right. I just shotgunned you. Fun Fact Friday.
Let's get into it. Let's learn some
hold on. By the way,
my friend.
Alan, this is where I usually start forgetting things. So you can make fun of me when I do.
It.
There you go.
Here's a fun fact for you. I need to stop calling you all my friends. I don't even know you. These two people are my friends. All right, you animals. Time to learn some facts. OMG facts. Brought to you, of course, by the Shin Splints Recovery Group. Remember, if you got any pain below that knee and above that ankle, go find yourself some medical advice. The best medical advice, sound medical advice, performed by non-certified individuals that just simply exist in the world. And you can find them on the Shin Splints Recovery Group. Let's get to it. Did you know brandy is the liquor most likely to cause the most severe hangover?
That makes sense, I think.
That's gotta be a sugar thing, right?
Yeah, it's like the sweetest, yeah.
It's the sweet one. That's
it's the sweet.
What is okay, so like, you know, vodka, I realize is either made of like is potato or corn. What is brandy?
Fucking, I don't know.
Like fruits?
Molasses.
Well, Brandy's a good girl. As fine girls you could meet.
That's
one day, to be a fine wife. I think I kind of butchered the lyrics there.
It's distilled from wine or fermented fruit mash.
So distilled from wine. So they went ahead and they're like, hey, we got all this alcohol lying around. What can we do? Let's just make more alcohol.
Make more booze. Make stronger booze.
We got some shit that didn't fall in any bottle. Let's yeah, no, I mean, I the strongest hangover I probably would have guessed some sort of like after dinner fruity ass or sugary ass filled cordial or digestif. You know, a Di Serrano, Grand Marnier. Trying to think of along those lines. I mean, even like a cognac. That's not nearly as sugary as the other ones. But yeah, brandy makes sense. Actually, I used to drink. I can't believe I'm about to admit this. I used to buy them by the fifth and carry them around at parties because light beer didn't get me drunk enough. Go figure. Jacques Quinn's ginger flavored brandy.
Jacquins, yeah.
Yeah.
See if I can get that blackberry brandy for football games. My pops did me that one.
Yeah.
Boom.
He loved
yeah. We used to get the blackberry brandy and drive up to the old Christiana Mall, and we would get fucking housed. And then we would find a safe ride home. And I remember one time we stopped by a Best Buy parking lot, and there was a lone shopping cart, and we basically jackassed our way through the night with that shopping cart. And that shopping cart ended up in the back of the truck. And that shopping cart came home with us.
Nice.
That shopping cart went on many adventures with some blackberry brandy.
Is this the same mall parking lot where you watched Ryan Lumpter do a karate chop with a samurai sword that he just bought for too much money?
Yes, that is exactly. And actually, that was a night where we had 2 bottles of blackberry brandy, which probably gave him just enough courage to try to finally buy that thing and chop the box in half, which...
No bueno. Alan, you remember that story, right?
Yeah. What, the sword story?
Where they jazzed their buddy enough, well, that friend, so-called, enough to buy a samurai sword.
Yeah. Preposterous. But that's good friending. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, well, think about that. Like $200 back in, 1997 was, that's like $400. Well, I mean... That was $400 3 months ago. That's like $800 today.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Did you know that is not the right fun fact that flamingos are born with gray feathers, which turn pink from their diet of shrimp?
I did.
Shrimp cause that?
Yes.
I would have guessed it had something to do with Mother Nature. No, what I was going to say is it had something to do with. Well, actually, what I was going to say makes no sense. So you know what? I didn't know that, and my initial thought
I want to know
makes
what
no
that was
sense
now.
either.
Can you say it?
Yeah, I want to
It
know
had something
exactly
to do with
what
when ducks typically are born that way, and then males grow. They presume to be. They have like colors all over them, so they can be seen, whereas females are more camouflaged. I thought it may have something to do with that, but then realizing both males and females grow up to be pink, my thought was pretty stupid, so I stopped talking.
I mean, that wasn't a terrible one. I thought it could have been worse.
But you guys wouldn't let me stop. You guys wouldn't let me stop. I had to say what I had to say.
I know.
Well, no, it was fine. Like I could have been way worse. I was expecting way worse.
So
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, fair enough. So you knew that their steady diet of shrimp went from gray to pink.
Yeah. Wow. I also remember I do at least like 2 or 3 of these a week. I'm like, yeah, I knew that. Because I hosted trivia.
Gotcha.
So I just have a mind full of fucking random shit in my head. But yeah,
well,
I did that.
Do you think are there shades, or like people? Some of the flamingos who eat a fuck ton of them are like more robust.
They get super fucking
super
pink.
vibrant. Pink.
Okay. Yeah.
That's actually kind of.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That's kind of how you can tell who like the alphas are of the flock.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the big boys and the fucking alphas like muscle them out and get more food, so they're pinker.
Why did they even go with that dumbass fucking Pink Panther? Should have been the Pink Flamingo.
Right? That's true.
Yeah.
Imagine
Another Matt Dillon
Pink
movie.
Panthers, though.
Another what movie?
Another Matt Dillon movie.
Weird.
Matt Dillon
Pink
was in the
Flamingos.
Pink. Oh, I thought you said the Pink Panther. I was like, was Steve Martin?
No.
He was in that. Jesus.
Imagine if
was
there
he a
were
fucking
Pink
bellboy or something?
Like if you were just like roaming through the savannah and a Pink Panther came moseying out of the woods.
God.
Here's another small fun fact.
He eats a lot of shrimp.
I was actually reading from the pile of like, let's not read these fun facts, and I now finally have the pile of these are actually interesting fun facts. Did you know it takes somewhere between 144 and 411 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Oof. Wow.
It's not 3.
So 111 is like fucking Andre the Giant, and 400 some odd is like, I don't know, Mary Lou Retton, fucking like.
I guess, yeah, that's a large disparity. It's 144 and 411, but like, I mean, yeah, like I don't want to be around the guy who gets there in 144.
Right. There's a There's a porn star that has a very distinct tongue. Her name is Carrie Warner. She's probably in like the 111 range. Yeah, look that up, listeners. She's wonderful.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I don't like watching professional porn stars. I don't.
You've
like that amateur stuff.
You've gone amateur, yeah.
You like that amateur stuff, huh?
Yeah, because I just
I
I almost feel like, I mean, when they get way too into it, like, I mean, I want to see like a natural into it, not like a like a theatrical into
Here's
it
the
kind of thing.
I can direct you towards a few actors and actresses, mostly actresses, but maybe a couple actors if you're into that. Basically, in my humble opinion, and if they're fooling me, then shame on me and kudos to them. Pat on the back. Excuse me. I went to pat my back and slap my mic. I'm really 100% convinced that these people showed up and didn't realize that they were getting paid. They're like, oh yeah, I was here for the sex. Like, yeah, there's a stipend and actually you get paid to do this. Oh, wow, really? Even better. Fucking A. They just came for the fucking that day.
Yeah, no, I could think of a couple that are like that.
Yeah.
But I think it also comes down to like the quality of the images.
Yeah, this is all 4K, bro.
Yeah, like I mean, like when it's like HD Ultra, it's like okay, light isn't even that clear.
I think you can kind of tell, like, the skin of the fucking, the production company or whatever that particular niche fucking fetish or fucking thing is. It kind of gives it away. It's like, is it bang bussy? It's gonna suck. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're right. There is a ton of like very overproduced, like studio porn, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, I guess the homemade stuff's probably a little better. You're probably right.
I just want an iPhone, like just like maybe even a little bit of shakiness. Maybe sometimes everything that you want to see is going out of frame every now and then.
Wants to watch the Blair Witch of porn.
That's
not the Cloverfield. I don't need shaky cam. But like,
it's an amateur with like a handheld like 08 gimbal that they can put their phone on, and they're giggling around, maybe narrating a little bit. Like,
I have one of those.
No, shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Just do what you do.
I know of a couple
right there.
Production companies that where the narrator is a little too much. It's a little too vocal, and you see comments like, "What do you do? Look, I shut the fuck up." Look, I shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Did you know? Come on.
Did you know baby red kangaroos are smaller than cherries when they're born?
Ooh, is that because they eat shrimp?
Not know that. No.
That is, life is amazing.
Life is amazing.
Kangaroos are pretty amazing in general. A mammal that's somehow related to us long down the fucking biological chain, and then the fact that they can still tuck. You got a natural. We've designed clothing because something they have, and you can't put kids in your fucking pouch of a hoodie.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, could.
Well, not safely.
Protective Services might have something to say about it.
Legality's fine. That way is a little different, but yeah, I don't know. Pin Christ, and this is because they eat all these cherries.
Yes, that's exactly why they're born that tiny. Is because they eat a lot of cherries. I do know this extra fun fact that a baby panda is smaller than a stick of butter when it's born.
Damn. That's kind of wild.
Come to think,
the kangaroo thing doesn't surprise me as much as the panda thing.
I think it just what's weird about it is it's such a. I mean, a cherry. We all realize how big a cherry is, right? Like it's going to
or a peanut,
grow,
a lonely little peanut.
But it's going to expand. It's going to genetically grow into this. Like, I mean, you've seen kangaroos.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking 6 foot tall and will fucking like beat the piss out of you. And at one time you can just go between your fingers.
And pandas are a stick of butter. So you probably do like one.
Yeah.
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 Wow. And come to think of it, my elementary school mascot was a panda. Should have voted against that. Should have been the kangaroos.
Really? Fucking whack. That's a whack ass.
That was all that Chinese propaganda trying to get you involved at a young age.
Yeah. They certainly encouraged us eating bamboos for our greens during lunch. Like, ooh,
it's good for the digestion.
Yeah, pandas eat it. You guys got it.
And then mandarin orange for dessert.
It was juice. That's okay.
And finally, did you know the word escalate did not exist until the invention of the escalator in 1944?
I'm going to escalate
That
this.
might be the most wild fun fact that I feel like
What was the first
I've
part?
read.
I wasn't paying attention.
Escalations were created because of the escalator. Or escalate.
The word escalate didn't exist until 1944 after the invention of the escalator.
That's fair. It's kind of crazy. I was surprised it took that long, but yeah.
Or it took
Because
that thing.
escalate
I mean,
seems like a word, like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the etymology of the word makes sense, so I would assume that word would have been around before it, like an escalator, if that
Right. I feel like, why did they name it that? Why did they name the device the escalator?
Yeah.
But
I tell you what, they probably did some crystal meth and had a hangover. And they're trying to figure out what could we name this goddamn thing.
well, what the word normalcy was not a word until, like, who said that? Was it Roosevelt?
Norm Macdonald, probably.
Yes, probably Norm Macdonald. No, but the word normalcy wasn't like. But then the president said we need to get back to a state of normalcy. And like, oh, the president can't be wrong. That must be a real word. What are you gonna fucking champion? Now it's a fucking like, it's considered like almost like a sophisticated word where only a dullard would have said it before that.
And I use escalate or escalation and normalcy about once every month, every other month maybe, depending upon how I'm feeling. Actually, that's bullshit. I use escalations a lot because of my job, but no, escalation, man. Get it to a point high above.
Well, thank you for that, Wesley. And I guess that officially concludes your Fun Fact Friday.
I was thinking about this today. I have a bonus Fun Fact Friday. This is back, Murray, you know the YMCA in Elkton?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been in? Do you know the layout?
It's been a while, but I have a general idea.
Okay, so on the east end or whatever, one end of the building they have 3 full court basketball courts, full court rims, 3-point line basketball courts.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you were familiar with it. Okay. Anywho,
no, all I know is when you walk in, it's mainly pool. Like that's like a giant swimming pool. I know that, and then I know there's other areas of. There's
an area where they're back side by side 3 full court basketball courts. I was probably like 18 or 19, and there was people from like Wilmington, people from Newark, people from all over, and we got into a pretty heated full court 5-on-5 basketball game. And you remember, I in my heyday, I was a good basketball player, and we got at it verbally, and by us I mean our 5 against their 5s. A lot of F-bombs, a lot of other 4-letter words were getting thrown around. And finally, this dorky-ass motherfucker just comes out of the office right there. And it's like George Costanza. It's like, oh, enough. And like the place goes quiet. All you hear is the ball bouncing like, do you know what YMCA stands for? Everyone's like, ugh, no. It's like, Young Men's Christian Association. And it's like, how about that? Damn, that's wild shit.
I would have never thought.
God, wow, amazing. And yeah, he marched away and was like, yeah, we can't curse anymore. Damn, that sucks. So there you go. Young Men's Christian Association.
Interesting, because in the late 70s, early 80s, it was homosexual bathhouses. But all right.
Yeah, you're right. I should have said, like, yo, it's the song about the village people. Before you go, folks, hey, next week coming up is the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, as well as the Home Run Derby. And they have a whole fanfare. This shit's taking place in Los Angeles. First time in a long time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That was gurgly.
But on the eve of this, the Dodger concession stand / stadium staff, who's actually, they're not employed by Dodger Stadium. Now, I guess it's a Chicago-based company called Levy Restaurants, which they employ about 1,500 people within Dodger Stadium. Now, it's all the concessions, all the people going up and down. I'm assuming catering, large events, especially the executive and private suites and whatnot. 1,500 people have pretty much strong-armed the Dodgers to say they're going to boycott leading up to not just All-Star Game weekend and the whole fanfare, but the rest of the rest of the season if they don't get paid certain wages. All right, I like and have always kind of semi-liked unions, but this is kind of semi-bullshit, if you ask me. Want to know your thoughts on their strike leading up to the All-Star Game?
It sounds like a bunch of people in the catering industry just found themselves some high-paying jobs.
Yeah, I mean, can't be like pro-union and then be like, hey, union doing its union thing. Don't do that. Like, fuck them. Yeah, good. If they're underpaying them or they're treating them like shit, they should be like, oh, yeah, you want to have this all-star game here? In this facility that was built fucking before baseball, it was even fucking invented. Give LA a goddamn new stadium. That place is fucking ridiculously old. It's probably a shithole.
Chavez Ravine?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a shithole. So I understand. They're probably in danger of fucking hot cheeses and fucking all types of shit all the time. Fuck them. Pay more money.
If they hold on 1 second. If they are in fact underpaid, then I agree. But if you are in fact underpaid, you could do this before the season starts. You don't have to do this during the season, more or less on the heels of the All-Star Game when all the fucking country's eyes are going to be on you. Every baseball fan is going to be watching this entire weekend. And you're like, no, we strategically planned this. It seems, I mean, hey, look, yeah. I salute America and I salute the freedom and the right to absolutely do this. But I think if you're on that side of the fence, it's a bit chicken shit. I have one more follow-up point, but you guys are anxious to jump in.
Well, it's called leverage.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you not negotiate your fucking employment contracts, bud? What's wrong with you?
I understand that, but I think that this was there's been All-Star games for close to 100 years now, and at a time, whether you guys know this or not, there was like a 15-year stretch where there were two of them. There was one in the middle and one at the end of the year after the World Series. So there's never been something like this before. So
yeah, I don't think the All-Star game is the issue. Like, maybe whoever fucking had the All-Star game last year pays their employees well. Like,
this is the first year that employees have not been paid well. This is the first
year that the fucking whole crew of them was like, you know what? Fuck them.
Well, why not? The Dodgers have the highest payroll in baseball. Why not do it leading up to the playoffs?
Because the All-Star game's perfect. You literally ruin a one-time event in the middle of the season. Either pay us or ruin it. There's your choice.
You don't think they could hire some people? 1,500 in
the
greater LA area?
You can get some scabs in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what I was going to ask. You've seen those photos of like people crossing the Ford scab line in like the 40s, right? Dude's getting fucking pummeled. You think you might get some of that?
Look, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that a large percentage of that 1,500 staff is Latino. So you fucking walk through blades if you're fucking that fucking palsy, but you're getting knifed on the way in. Is all I'm saying.
I mean, you could always just tell people like, hey, listen, concessions are down. Bring your own food. You might see some of the most creative outdoor fucking tailgating in Major League Baseball history. You might see people doing full racks of ribs, charging money for that. Like, hey, here's your rack of ribs. Throw them in your cooler. Enjoy the game. I mean, there's creative ways around this. Like, look, bottom line is they're getting paid low wages because their union didn't negotiate for any higher wages than what they're getting paid. So now they're trying to go back against their own contract. So, I mean, look, I'm in a union and we have a clause that we can't strike. And I'm like, well, then what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Like that's how you get what you want, is by saying, then I just won't do what you want me to do.
Yeah, but that's one of them whack ass unions. I mean, it's a solid one though, because I know what you're talking about. But fucking, you're slightly whack in that regard. Like I was gonna say, like fucking, like Wes started off as like, hey, I'm pretty cool with unions, and then was like, all of the things that unions do to get fucking union results. I'm not a big fan of it.
It's not that's not what I said at all. You could have done this.
You mean striking at a point in time when the company is in a really weird spot, so they would have to buckle to my demands? That just sounds fucking like cheating.
They couldn't have done that at the beginning of the season, before opening day. Before opening day,
because it didn't matter. Now it fucking matters.
Ugh.
I think too, even since the start of the baseball season, like inflation has increased. And people are now starting to feel it with gas prices, and the price of products has drastically increased in the last 6 months. And so they're like, look, we can't keep doing this job for this pay because I'm feeling it, man. Last year, I felt like finally in my adult life, like finally I'm making a reasonable wage for the amount of bills and things that I pay for. Like I'm doing good now. Yay, me. And then all of a sudden, I'm making damn near 10% less because of how much I'm paying out. Yeah, I'd like more money, but I can't just stop doing my job unless I have a negotiating tactic. And these guys have one, and they're gonna fucking pull it out.
Huge one.
Listen, I'm not out and out criticizing the decision to do it now. I'm out and out criticizing the fact that you could have done it before opening day. You could have done it at a point that was less like, less kind of skeevy tactical, in my opinion.
I mean, that's the point, though.
Yeah, I don't want to like talk down to you. Like,
Sure.
I don't disagree with you.
I understand the leverage behind
with you.
it. I understand the leverage behind it. I'm not saying that I'm ignorant to the reason that they did this. I'm saying that,
I think I don't mean to cut you off, but I think it's coming from a place of like, you like the All-Star, like you love baseball, sure. And this is a weekend that you're like, oh, I really love this, and they're putting that in jeopardy, and so it's a little more personal to you this time.
Yeah.
But that's also exactly why they're doing it, because if they get the support of the country behind them, then the owners have to bow to their demands.
You should be like, hey, highest payroll in baseball, pay your catering employees.
I would have had more respect for the decision if they did it 24 hours before opening day, or the home opener the Dodgers played.
But see, Alan, here's the thing, though. We could be wrong, because look at the feelings that he's having about the catering people now. It's like, hey, guys, maybe you're on the wrong side of history here. So maybe you're the dicks, and maybe the owners are right in this. So, yeah, you got to be careful how you play this.
But like, if I'm that guy fucking slinging hot dogs on game days, and fucking Wes Fox from the Middle Classholes podcast fucking doesn't like my tactics, well, Wes Fox can go fuck himself, because I just got paid more. Because you know what I did? I fucking strong-armed those motherfuckers. I strong-arm companies that I moved to. I am pro strong-arming fucking people.
I think I like. Here's the deal. Okay, given this scenario, I would have had more respect for them if they'd done it 24 hours before opening day, or even like 24 hours before the first playoff game, because given this payroll, I almost guarantee I will bet either one of you like $2,000 that the Dodgers will make the playoffs. I would have bet more than before opening day. I bet you it happens, and I would have more respect for them if they'd done it before one of those two, just not the All-Star game.
Yeah, but I also I get it that again with the union you negotiate your contract, so you should be kind of held to that contract. I get it. Like the owners are like, hey, this is what you guys signed off on.
Yeah. And
now you want more? Like, so, and then they're strangleholding them over this thing. And if they did it at another time, it would only affect the Dodgers, but now it's going to affect all of
Major League Baseball. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not the leverage. I get it. but the leverage on an opening day or the leverage of the first, like, it doesn't matter. They're still going to play 162 games. Like, they're still going to play the playoff games. The All-Star game and the Home Run Derby don't go off. They don't fucking happen this year.
Right. And Murr's compromise is sell ribs in the parking lot.
I mean, fuck. You mean to tell me there aren't a ton of fucking taco trucks in LA?
Oh, yeah. Listen, Chavez Ravine would be filled with them. And they're all delicious from fucking top to bottom.
Well, and that's the thing is that's what the Dodgers need to do. The Dodgers just need to say right now before the All-Star list, hey, kick rocks, buddy. We're going to call every taco truck in the 50-mile fucking radius. Ooh. And they're going to come out here and they're going to feed the fans, and you guys are out of a job. So take your money that we give you or nothing.
I think you do a little bit something different. I think, okay, so these concession stands within the stadiums have, working grills, working kitchen equipment. You do something where say, hey, you get to come in here, not outside the stadium, but in here, you make 90% of the profit. We make 10. And you cook whatever the fuck you want. Cook it all. We just need to see the books. We need 10%.
All-Star weekend, man. I take that deal.
Yeah. You could even do like where they lobby to get booths. You know what I mean? Okay, we're getting prime club level right here. This booth, all the rags and riches and everyone in LA. All right, who wants first bid?
You could definitely scab that up easy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see how it goes.
America.
Yeah, in this day and age, you could protect those people. Like you keep all those naysayers outside and just...
Oh man, you ever fucking seen a machete up close? Just saying. Things change.
Ooh, you guys know what I'm talking about though? The guy who gets fucking nailed in the gut trying to walk across the Ford line.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of old scab videos, and they're all glorious and terrifying.
Watch like cool Chicago ones too, because they were all types of violent. It was great, beating the shit out of dudes.
Yeah, it's great beating the poop out of people. Well, we'll see what happens.
It was really just cops beating the shit out of fucking union dudes. That's really all it was. Shit. Rich dudes were like, protect our fucking factories. And union guys were like, all right, well, we're fighting the cops then. This is what's happening.
Excuse me. All right, Alan, tell the kiddos and the kidettes and all the cadets where you can find.
On the internet at all your favorite social media platforms. Of course, check us out on Instagram and Twitter. We're at MDL Classholes. You can find us on Facebook and TikTok as the Middle Classholes. And of course, for your ear holes, please check us out on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Anything in the email box from 2 weeks ago or a week ago, or whenever we was?
We're going to go ahead and say nope.
Damn it. People who usually email us. Who usually emails us? Farmer, what's his face?
Farmer Janky.
Yeah. Janky.
Yeah. Farmer Janky.
Hey, look, Greg Louganis messaged us this week. We could have a month where no one talks to us.
That's true.
Greg Louganis hit us up.
And he said like 2 words to us. And one of them wasn't even words. It was just LOL.
Hey, one of them was a whole sentence because he said, hey, you got to have a sense of humor.
Gotta have a sense of humor.
Oh, look at that. Thanks, Greg Louganis. Good times, guys.
Thanks for doing this. Well, folks, tune in next week. Our buddy Adam from the Great Apple. Yeah, the gold Great Apple.
The Great Apple. Hold on. I gotta say something real quick before we left. I went to a networking event yesterday, and I ran into a fraternity brother of ours, Wesley.
Say his name encryptedly.
Schmrenden Schmergen.
Okay. Sounds like an aristocrat. Go ahead. Yeah.
He's a very fancy guy. And he brought along this pal it was quite a hoot. And he was saying that he had a buddy that would always, whatever city he went to or whatever, anybody talked about a different city, he would always call it the Windy City, but it was never the city of Chicago. And I think that's the fucking greatest bit. Like,
The Windy City.
you're like, oh man, I gotta go to Detroit for work. Ah, the Windy City. Like, good shit. Sorry, that
No.
reminded me of that. And I had to say it.
God bless that guy. All right, folks. Adios. Take her easy. Hit us up. Whatever. Fuck you.